7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bambo.
Welcome
Bambo.
to season 6 of IFB. It's Fans Fuel the Fleet time, right?
Oh,
It-
it's Fans for the Fleet every day.
That's correct. Well, welcome
This is a
everyone
special
to
on
our
Thursdays.
yes, especially on Thursdays. Welcome to our award-winning pop culture, sci-fi news, and entertainment channel. I'm New York Pete, and your co-host and my best buddy is Chris the Tipsy Toaster. You're not Batman. What is that?
Back and forth,
the Bat
baby.
dance.
Oh, what would you do? This?
Okay,
But
yes,
that's weird.
That's well, yeah, it is, but that's a lot more accurate.
So this will be better. There we go.
What do you got?
Now we're good.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Now I have to do
Okay.
this though.
I gotta neutralize that. I gotta neutralize it
Do this
with this
way.
one. This it
Back and
right here.
forth.
I tell you,
Maybe I
man.
gotta wink. I gotta wink and just use one eye. There we go.
That's all
I
right.
keep it in the hole. That's hard to do.
You're having too much fun. Thank
Keep it upside
courtesy
down.
of
That would work?
mediocre modeler.
No,
there
that's
you
not
go.
gonna work. That's just because
No,
of the
that's
forehead there.
Yeah.
Almost the same.
No. Nope. Doesn't work. Anyway, welcome everybody to Interfleet Broadcasting. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Appreciate all of you. You know that. And before we get too far, let's just toast.
Yeah.
I have some
we get
real
Tara
good
on there, too?
New York
Tara
H2O.
got something? You got Tara?
I think Tara always has something.
Ah, yep,
Absolutely.
yep. Box of wine. We're set.
I got a little C-3PO and R2-D2 action from one of the original Burger King Empire Strikes Back glasses.
Ah. Oop.
Yes.
Goodness, I have that glass.
This is a good one.
I've got
Great.
Ooh, what is that?
cider.
Apple cider. It's vinegar.
It's cider with special stuff added.
All right, you enjoyed that.
Cinnamon whiskey. There we go.
All right, yeah, I figured as much.
Not
Well,
that
guys,
not that fireball stuff either.
No, okay. Yeah. Well, hope thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody's doing great, and we always want to recognize our fans and just the fandom in general. So here at IFB, Chris, we have
Yeah,
our
we
little
really
motto.
appreciate you being here. We're here every Thursday. Don't forget, hit that like button, the follow button, whatever buttons at the bottom besides dislike. Just hit all of those. You'll get the right one sooner or later because we're out there a little older, so maybe we not get the right button. I'm not sure. I've sent a lot of invites to people, but not a lot of people have accepted those invites. Hint, hint, everyone. But it doesn't matter because we are all fans at Fuel the Fleet, and we're all good fans. And because we are a family, I always mess that up. We want to appreciate everybody in it, whether you follow us or not, whether you watch us in live or in review or what do you call it? Syndication.
Syndication.
But here's to you because fans Fuel the Fleet.
There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, and hope you're feeling better. Doc
Should we say
McCauley.
cheers or should we like something like Shazbot?
That's Mork. Mork for Mork. Mork and Mindy.
Shazbot, everyone. That sounds like a good
Some-
drinking thing, you know?
Some would say helped drive a nail in the cancellation of our beloved Battlestar Galactica 1978. But anyway,
No, that was Galactica 1980 that got killed. Gee darn.
there's a great Halloween episode. I only watched
Did
that.
you read what I wrote on it?
No,
And
I
so
didn't.
begins the after-school special version of Battlestar
Yes,
Galactica.
that's right. That was you. Yeah. I'm gonna go back and watch it because I've never watched all of
Don't do
Galactica
it. Don't do it,
1980.
Pete. Just do yourself a favor. Don't do it.
I'm
Don't do it.
gonna do it. I'll
No,
do it.
don't do it. Go back and watch
do it.
Return of Starbuck. You'll be okay.
All right. Well, that.
But
we
you know,
did.
I
We
did
that.
enjoy. I
We had
did
a watch
enjoy
party.
some of the. I did enjoy the Scout episode. What the heck was that one? That was fun. And I did enjoy one of the very first episodes when Troy and Dylan are meeting up with the newscast stuff. And the newscast,
newscaster.
they
Oh,
solve
yeah,
that.
yeah.
They solve the problem.
Yeah.
On that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that
That's
was a
right.
decent one. I can say that much.
I gotta go back.
But when
and
it
watch
came
the
to
whole
the
thing.
Halloween one, oh come on! You know,
I vaguely
Cylons get taken out by a microwave. Come on, give me a
Microwave.
break.
I love it. I love
Sorry,
it. Well, okay.
but they
Anyway.
did have human Cylons in there, so I could give you that much. At least we
they
know
did.
Ron Moore was not the inventor of the human Cylon.
That is correct. That is correct. It's 1980.
Yep.
Well, Tiny Bean Tara, you have a lot of greetings. Hey, Sean, there's a lot of comments on the chat here. I'm looking at them, and some of them are geared towards you, sending you positive vibes and comments and all the likes. So thank you for joining us, everybody. I'll get to you guys as soon as Tiny Bean has a real cool segment. So if the Krista Tipsy Toaster is ready, I want to pass it on to you, and he is ready. Look at that!
How's that?
Wow, season 6.
Oh
All
boy.
you.
Goal for season 6: be on time and make sure I'm ready to change things when the things get changed. Need to get changed.
Exactly.
Moving on. So that's John. Tiny Bean Tara.
Yeah.
Tiny movie critic for IFB. Ow! Amazed.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, hello, IFB. Happy October. It is officially spooky month. Welcome to Tiny Bean's Corner, where we discuss new, old, and otherwise interesting things for the fleet's potential viewing pleasure. Lots of fun preview stuff for you all tonight, and the first installment in my yearly spooky month classic recommendation. So let's dive in. First up, check out the upcoming film House of Dynamite. It will hit the big screen tomorrow and then move to Netflix on October 24th. Brought to us by the great director Catherine Bigelow, who brought us such classics as Point Break, Zero Dark 30, and the Oscar-winning The Hurt Locker. She is at the helm of this new political thriller, where a single missile is launched and heading towards the U.S., and a race begins to find out where, why, and how to respond. With a cast full of notables, including Idris Elba as the president, Rebecca Ferguson from Silo and Dune, Jared Harris, Tracy Letts, and Anthony Ramos, it is already garnering some stellar reviews. The Hollywood Reporter described it as an unrelenting chokehold of a thriller so controlled, kinetic, and unsettlingly immersive, you will stagger out at the end of it wondering if the world is still intact. I am all in, guys. Check out the trailer. House of Dynamite hits big screens tomorrow and Netflix on the 24th. Next up, our friends over at Apple TV have another cool action thriller, and it's hitting tomorrow. Check out The Last Frontier. It's about a U.S. Marshal in the remote land of Alaska who suddenly has to deal with a plane crash of a prison transport plane full of violent criminals. Sure sounds like fun. Starring the always solid Jason Clarke from Terminator Genisys, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and Zero Dark 30. It also stars Simone Kessel, Dominic Cooper, and Alfre Woodard. Check out the trailer. It looks awesome, guys. Filmed on location, mostly in Canada, the setting and visuals alone may be worth it. And Apple TV, they rarely let you down. So if you're in the mood for an Arctic-style action romp, here you go. The Last Frontier will premiere tomorrow on Apple TV. Now, one of the things we talk about a lot in the corner and on IFB in general is that we are passionate fans, and we know that fans fuel the fleet. And here in the corner, we are especially passionate students of cinema and filmmaking, and no conversation on the history of film is complete without talking about the one and only Mr. Martin Scorsese. Now, we have a 5-part documentary series coming about this living legend starting October 17th. It features interviews with Robert De Niro, Mick Jagger, Steven Spielberg, Leonardo DiCaprio, and other friends, family, and collaborators. It examines his personal life as a young Italian American and into the creative process behind the development of such classics of the genre as Raging Bull, Mean Streets, Goodfellas, Gangs of New York, Casino, and hopefully they will touch on my 2 favorite Scorsese favorites, The Departed and Shutter Island. What a filmography! So, if you're like me and you love a good documentary deep dive, especially of an artist of this caliber, put on some Rolling Stones, grab a bowl of pasta with me, and check out Mr. Scorsese on Apple TV starting October 17th. And last in previews tonight, perfect for spooky month, the long-awaited adaptation, Welcome to Derry. It's coming to HBO Max on October 26th. This is the prequel story of the iconic Stephen King story, It, that forever changed the way we see red balloons and featured the menacing Pennywise the Clown. Check out the trailer. Wow. Stephen King himself has given it a huge thumbs up and said that the first episode is truly terrifying. Bill Skarsgård reprises his role of Pennywise from the reboot film versions of It. The series is planned for 3 seasons, each season focusing on another period in the history of the haunted town of Derry. This looks like the perfect series to celebrate my favorite month, and I can't wait. It, Welcome to Derry, will begin on HBO Max on October 26th. So, every year in October in Tiny Bean's Corner, I like to make some recommendations for classic spooky films that beg to be a part of your Halloween viewing selections. My first installment for 2025 is a gothic ghost story from 24 years ago. So creepy, so atmospheric and well done, it very well may keep you up at night. So, I am talking about Alejandro Amenabar's brilliant film, The Others. It's 1945. We are at a remote family estate in the foggy Channel Islands at the end of World War II. A lonely woman lives there with her 2 photosensitive children, waiting for news of her husband who was fighting in the war, and she welcomes into the home 3 new servants. And soon, there are unusual bumps in the night. Starring Academy Award winner Nicole Kidman in what I think is her finest performance, this moody, gothic, atmospheric, and period details just pull you right in from the opening scene, and it just keeps slowly building in intensity from there. It is old school ghost story filmmaking, no blood and gore, with almost a classic old Hollywood feel. Alejandro Amenabar not only wrote and directed the story, but he also wrote and orchestrated the music. He also experimented with scenes lit only by candles to add to the atmosphere. And it became the first film ever to receive Best Picture at the Goyas, Spain's Oscars, without a single word of Spanish spoken in it. The climax of the film features one of the best twists in a film next to The Sixth Sense, and will absolutely make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. The rest of the small, tight, top-notch cast includes Fiona Flanagan. Yeah, that's Data's mother, guys. Christopher Eccleston, Doctor Who, and two fabulous child actors, Alakina Mann and James Bentley. Actress Michelle Farley of Game of Thrones even has a small role. If, like me, you haven't seen this one in years, it's definitely time for a rewatch. And if you've never seen it before, prepare for a good old-fashioned spooky time. The Others has not been available for streaming in a long while, but it is available now on AMC. So turn down the lights, light a candle, and check it out while you can. And remember, this house is ours. Back to you, Pete.
Whoa. Totally creepy.
Yeah.
So The Last Frontier, I saw the trailer for it, and all I could think about was that film with was it Nicolas Cage and
Mhm.
right? That's all
Yes,
I could
yes,
was like
yes.
I was like, is that what this is? Is
No,
this another
no,
remake of that, man? Come
yeah,
on.
no, this looks like the more serious version of that, and then set in Alaska. I mean, the visuals look off the
Yeah,
hook.
they
So
do.
yeah, and
They
I love
do.
Jason Clarke. He's terrific. So
Oh yeah. So that's definitely on the list. I'm caught up with Slow Horses or
nice.
yeah, Slow Horses. Uh
Mhm.
and it's phenomenal. It's just
Fantastic.
really, really good. And I finally finished watching all of Severance.
Oh,
Incredible.
yes.
Incredible. I heard it's coming back.
It is. It is definitely coming back. I think they even started filming. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Did you
can't
know
wait.
that they set them up for a promotional thing in Grand Central Station?
Oh, really?
They actually put a cubicle in the middle of the station and had them in there as if they were, and they're pretending to work.
Ah,
So
that's
it's like a
crazy.
fiberglass box and they're
Oh,
yeah, I was like, "Oh my God, I would have loved to have gotten some pictures." Imagine that
yes.
in
That's
the
amazing.
yeah, so anyway, yep. Wanted
Awesome.
to, wanted to share that.
Yeah,
Uh
so the only I've been
Tipsy, did
watching
you
was on Apple TV has been I should say watching, I should say reading. Uh,
Foundation?
no, I said
Ah,
reading,
come on.
watching, because there is no English in the whole movie. Well, there's a little bit of
Yeah,
English in the whole movie,
yeah.
and that's
Who's that?
Chief of War.
Take another
Oh,
drink. What is it?
yes. Oh,
Chief of
that was
War.
good.
Momoa. Jason
That was
Momoa.
Oh, okay.
good.
It's
I heard that was good.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Got a
Okay.
great
I
storyline to
wasn't
it, and
prepared.
I wasn't prepared for all the
Yeah.
Hawaiian in there. I was like, they're not speaking any English, and I'm like,
Exactly. That's what I said. I'm like,
are
nobody told
these
me there was
does
no English.
Momoa actually know how to speak? I mean, they're fluent in Hawaiian. I don't know what the
Yeah.
actual language is, but they
Mhm.
must be fluent in that language because I mean they're just they ain't making it up.
Yeah.
It's not like Klingon or anything. They're actually utilizing a language.
Right.
I was like, wow, like that was a great
Wow.
show so far. I haven't finished it yet, so it won't spoil it. But
It's really terrific. I know that Jason Momoa does have some Native Hawaiian in
hmm
his
Yes.
background,
Yes.
and that apparently when he auditioned for the role in Game of Thrones, he didn't think he was going to get it, so he came in traditional garb and did a war dance from Hawaii as his audition, and they
Really?
cast him. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Oh, I did not know that. That's a great story.
ah,
Excellent.
Tangali, that's the
there you
name of the
go.
Tangali, is
language.
that what it is? Well,
Thank
so
you, Mr.
Tiny
Marino.
Bean, yes. Oh, there it is. Tagali, excellent. By the way,
Nice.
so I just wanted to congratulate you and everybody that was involved in the Tower Protocol. We received, recently just another two festival wins. So congratulations and thanks for being a part of that as well. You were also in the Stranded Warrior, but we're stacking them up. It's festival season, towards the end of the year, especially now in October when a lot of this stuff is happening. So thank you for everything. Thank you for producing your segment. Thank you for, it's been now, sixth season now that you're on board with us. Thank you so
Wow.
much, Tara. And thank you to everybody that's on here with us. And there's a lot of really, really cool fans that have, and supporters that have been with us for a long, long time. So thank you, everybody. Who you are, Karen, and everybody else that's on. I'm going to call you out in a minute or two, but thank you, Tara. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. And thank you, everybody in the fleet. Love you guys. Love this community. You guys are the best. Fans fuel the fleet, gang.
Thank you, Tiny
Absolutely.
Bean. See you again
See you later.
soon.
And there she goes.
Awesome.
There goes Tiny Bean Tara.
Awesome. Yeah, you need to have an intro and an outro, man. You did it one time, and then I don't know what happened to it.
I
But
I had a hard drive fail on my computer. And
oh,
that
that's
was,
right. Yeah,
that
you
was
did.
on there, and I can't find it again. So,
Well, I got to tell you that I'm gonna put on
oh, you
my
ready to look?
yeah the
Hang on,
yes
hang
the
on, hang on,
magic
hang on. Let me get
mirror
set up. We're
colonial
ready
warrior
and
helmet.
go.
Yes, and I just wanted to thank a bunch of you that are joining us here live. Erica Persiani and James McCoy and Rick Moreno. What's up, buddy? Of course, Commander Kane is here with us, and I mentioned Karen. Doc McCauley, thank you from over where you are. I know that you were kind of under the weather, and I'm hoping that you're feeling better and that you'll be up and about shooting down Cylons as soon as you can. And
Hey,
let's see,
hey, hey! Let's
Commander
not go
Kane.
there. Come on now.
Hey, you're not on. I'm on. Let's see. Oh,
I
Rob
can
Baum,
take you off, sir.
unofficial fact checker is on, and Bert Oliver Bower. Let's see. Show and Shallow, Battlestar Bulletin Board. Thank you for joining us live, guys. Appreciate you all. And then there's a few of you that are sprinkled all over the other social media, including YouTube and the like. So I just wanted to thank all of you and those that are tuning in from all over the United States and overseas, including down under. So thank you guys. Thank you very, very much as usual for joining us live. Usually the rerun gets us in the thousands. I know that there is a time difference, both sometimes for our guests and for you guys that watch. But thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you all. And the numbers, speak for themselves. Tipsy, our numbers are really, really good, right? I remember when we first started 6 seasons ago, we were excited because we had like, I don't know, 25 people or 20
We didn't have
people
25.
watching us, and we were like, man, 20 people tuned in? What the hell is that? What
Yeah,
the heck?
20 people watched it
watching us?
afterwards, and I'm sure that was because they accidentally hit it.
So, and now now we have a following of almost 33,000 strong sci-fi film fans, and that's really humbling. I know that New York Comic-Con is coming up in the next actually today. I believe that today is Thursday. Usually it starts on Thursday. Unfortunately, this year we won't make it. There is other commitments that we're going to be going to. Also, quick nod, Tipsy, to the Brooklyn Sci-Fi Film Festival. Thank you for selecting us. We are in the virtual film festival, and we attended the reception. Had a really, really good time. The director is a real big Battlestar Galactica fan, and he enjoyed our film. And so, if you guys get a chance, right, we put up the discount. Get out there and watch it. A lot of you were asking for it, so it's there now. You can go there, watch it, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up, give it a vote as well. But at least you'll get a chance to watch it because we've been talking about it for over a year. It's there now, so if you want, you can see it. Same thing goes for Shockfest. Shockfest tomorrow, you'll be able to watch the Tower Protocol. So with that said, I want to set up our next special guest. The special guest is involved, actually wrote a film that Tipsy's been talking about now for since it came out. Since it came out, I was like, Code 3, did you watch it? I'm like, no, what are you
Gotta
talking
watch it.
about?
Gotta watch it.
No, you gotta watch it. It's like he was sending me texts, he's sending me instant messages. Did you see it yet? I'm like, what are you what is that? What is like code 3? I had no idea what he was talking about. And he's coming on to the show and he's like, you're not gonna believe who I got coming on. I'm like, what are you talking about? So
I actually have the trailer queued up.
All right. Well then
let's watch the trailer because we'll get away with it this time because normally they'll strike us because we played something like this, but we'll be able to say, hey, we were interviewing somebody. That takes a little while. But anyways, here's the trailer. Give me 1 second to set up the audio, otherwise we're gonna get echo.
You're so excited, man. I can't believe you were talking it up, and then we got the guest that was like, you got what? You got the writer? What? The script writer? The screenplay of the what? The code what? Go ahead.
I'm sure he's I can't wait to hear the story behind it. I know everybody's been talking about the movie, but I really can't wait to talk to him about how it came to be.
Patrick is waiting in the green room.
I already got him set up. Hang on. Here is if you haven't seen Code 3 yet, what's wrong with you, number one? Number two, it is available on streaming. I bought it on streaming. I went and saw it in the movie theaters. It's a tremendously funny, great look, great looking. It was so well put together, and I was so excited to talk about it. But I think you'll understand how funny it is when you watch this. Maybe. Yep. Hang on. Let me try this again.
Come on, Tipsy.
Pause.
Use your
bring this down.
Roving red eye.
The audio on. There we go. Now we're set.
All right. Got it. Let it roll. Hit play.
Letter 42, responding order to psychiatric patient.
20 bucks and you can come butt ass naked.
There you have it, it's draw. Shirt, no pants. It's like Winnie the Pooh. Mike, you gonna let me drive today?
No. I will. You will.
I should mention at this point that you're all going to die.
Heart attack, car accident, fork in the toaster,
Or peanut allergy.
Drowning's the worst way to go.
best way to die?
Decapitation. You guys ever seen anyone choke to death? All we want to do is save your life. Some of you don't make it easy.
I didn't even read that.
Most people on this job can't last a year, can't hack it.
You are senior, you picked the student.
No.
Is there one of the paramedics actually put them with somebody better than you?
Nobody's better than me.
Let's hit it.
Why are you here?
Because I want to save lives. You have people's lives in your hands. How can you not care?
Burning out. The whole system is broken. I need help. I'm a mess.
I'm quitting. That's it? I'm out of here.
Please don't go out like this.
You gonna miss me? Just a coworker, man.
You act like I'm like your best friend.
Damn it, I'm his best friend.
I got into the EMS because I really wanted to help people.
Officers, we've got this totally under control.
But this is a job.
Clock in, clock out.
I don't think you really believe that.
Mr. President, let's take a start, man. We need to evacuate you and take you to the lab.
What about the first lady and vice president?
We're going to send a second chopper. She's been having a little trouble breathing lately.
Define lately.
Gotta love it.
Excellent.
Without further ado.
All right. Bring on our next guest. Excellent. Patrick, welcome to IFB. What's it like when you watch? I know I've had the privilege of making some shorts, and sometimes I get to see things that I've written come to life, and it's a thrill. Tell us what it's like.
It's really surreal to go from something that just lived on a page to then coming to life. It's mind-blowing, and it's one of those things that so few people get the opportunity to experience. I was telling some of my friends that are not in the industry, imagine you write an email about anything, doesn't matter. You write an email about a car, and then the next morning there's an entire garage just fixated on building the car that you wrote the email about. And that's as close as I can come to explaining what it's like to have something that has literally just lived as words on white pages become something that is fully in front of you, and utilizing an amazing array of artisans to make happen. It's incredibly gratifying.
Did you get to go to set?
Yeah, I was on set every day. I was the
Wow.
technical consultant, so I was also there making sure that the medical stuff looked correct and everything else. Not to be confused with the director. The director, Chris, did his amazing direction, but when it came to medical stuff, that was kind of my domain.
Okay, so is it fair to say that you're actually an EMT paramedic?
Yeah, I am a paramedic. I still am. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So is that your day job?
No, I got certified in 2000. I got my EMT in 2001 and my paramedic in 2002. And then I had it for a dozen years, and then I let it lapse, and then I just recently got it back again. I don't really practice. I don't work 911 anymore, but it's one of those things where I wanted to get it back, and so I did all the things you had to do to get it. But yeah, I haven't worked clinically for the better part of a decade.
Wow. Well, good for you for doing that. That's cool. It's good to have you in a room. God forbid something happens that you can step in. But so obviously there's a link in what you were able to write and what made it into the film. How did that play? I mean, this is your first screenplay, right?
Yeah, it's my first
Amazing.
foray into the field. So it's been a roller coaster. There's no other way to describe it.
That is so cool. How long did it take you to do the screenplay?
So that's a question I get a lot, and it's a funny answer because it's a simple question with a complex answer. So if you're asking from when I thought about it, we're talking the better part of 20 years. If you're talking about from the first draft, we're now in the realm of 14 to 15 years. And if you're talking about the when Chris came on board, the co-writer and director, we're talking about 12 years. So it's kind of like it just depends on where you want to measure from.
Wow. Well, that's still quite an odyssey to actually even if you put the pin at 12 years, that's a heck of a thing. So we want to ask a couple of some of the mundane or technical or out there questions. Did you go to a class on how to format, or did you put this stuff together on your own?
No, well, kind of. The funniest backstory about Code 3 is that the entire movie was essentially a homework assignment. And it started from college. So my undergrad's in public relations. I went to the University of South Carolina, or as I like to refer to as the real USC. I'm waiting to see the comments blow up over that, but I'm happy to defend my position. Um, but part of that program required me to take a creative writing course, and I had no real interest in creative writing. I didn't go to school for screenwriting. My interests were, articles and garnering basically interest stories. That was kind of what I wanted to do. I really wanted to go be what's called a PIO, a public information officer for an agency. The people you see on the news going, the fire was here and here's the damage and all that stuff. That's what I want. That's ultimately what I went to college for. That's what I really wanted to do, I thought. And so this creative writing course, I had just came off this hellacious 14-hour shift, and the normal shifts are 12 hours. And the professor just kind of looked at us in the first week, and he said, to tell a compelling story, write what you know. And that's very cliche to hear, but it was the first time I had ever heard it. And so the only thought that ran through my brain is, you want a story? I'll tell you a story. And I cranked out this 30-page short story about just screaming into the void about, burnout and EMS and the U.S. healthcare system that is incredibly fractured and broken, and the frustrations that went along with that, and turned it in. And that was it. It was never meant to be a movie. It was literally a short story. And flash forward 4 or 5 years later, I'm visiting my brother who's living in LA, and he finally sits me down and he says, well, do what everybody does in LA and write a script. And I had no training in this. Like I said, my undergrad's in PR, my master's is in healthcare administration. And we were just like, okay. So I sat down and said, let's give this a shot. And so I wrote the first draft of Code 3, which was originally titled, the very first title was Fake Stories from a Real Ambulance Driver, as kind of an inside joke, because don't ever call paramedics ambulance drivers. It's really bad. And so I did. I wrote the short story, or I'm sorry, the first draft in about a week. It was total garbage. It was not good. First drafts never are. And gave it to my brother and basically said, okay, my homework assignment is done. Here you go. I've done the thing. And what I tell everybody is, in this industry, you have to be good. And this isn't, there is a level to which you have to be able to perform to. And then regardless of whether you're this level or 1,000 times above that, you've met the threshold. Now you have to get lucky. And that's unfortunate and it's unfair. And I have been as gracious as I can about it. I know that I'm good, and then I got really lucky. And the really lucky thing for me was that Paul and Chris Leone were coworkers at a visual effects house in LA. And so my brother approaches Chris and says, hey, Chris, do you want to read a script? And Chris emphatically says, absolutely not, which is the right answer in LA. Everybody wants you to read their stuff. But my brother is nothing if not determined and persistent, and finally got Chris to read the script. And Chris liked it enough to say that there's something here. And then we had a meeting, our very first of many meetings. And Chris was really nice and great. He never asked me what was the worst thing I ever saw until we got way further down in the process. But in that first meeting, he said, tell me something that would blow my mind. And I just started laughing. And I just said, I know what brains smell like. And he almost fell out of his chair. We went from there. And then Chris decided to come on board. He was the co-writer. And then we co-wrote on it together for another 10, 12 years. Not full time. Nobody was getting paid for this. This was a passion project. And, every couple of weeks, maybe a month, we would email each other and say, hey, I was thinking about this scene, or I was thinking about that. And, what do you think? And how do we do this? And that's really the trajectory of Code 3. Finally, when the script was at a place where we felt confident that it was at a good enough place to share, Chris's representatives, because Chris is a writer and a director, and his agents and managers started shopping it around, and it landed in front of Rainn Wilson, who plays our lead character. And Rainn read it and loved it. And then once he came on board, we were in another year and a half, 2 years of polishing the script and getting it to a place where it needed to be. And then Wayfair came on board because of Rainn, and then financing, and then we were off to the races. So it was, for me, from my vantage point, it was like 15 years of nothing, and then the brakes fell off, and we were off to the races. So it was really rewarding and infuriating and beautiful and all the things.
Wow. That's really, really, really cool. Have you thought about, what might come out of this? Would there be another film? Could it turn into a TV show, or have you, has any of that come? I'm sure you've thought of something besides just the script.
Absolutely. So we've been thinking about all of those opportunities. Now, those opportunities are all dependent on how well Code 3 performs. But because of the movie, I am now in the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, the union that represents writers. And because of all of my little Easter eggs in the movie, if you pay really close attention, you'll see me. I'm also in SAG as well, so the Actors Guild. And so I would love nothing more than to continue to write and work in make-believe for the rest of my career. I think it would be a lot of fun and something that I thoroughly enjoyed, something that was a complete departure from my Monday through Friday work. And I'd love to turn Code 3 into a series. I'd love to write a follow-up movie or the next day and take a different crew out, or maybe stick with Randy. All of those things are there. And because of the work on Code 3, the timing between when the movie ended to essentially today when we came out, I've been writing other projects as well. I'm partnering with my brother on a couple of things, and my brother's a producer on the film, so which is nice to have that kind of familial connection. But yeah, there's lots of ideas. There's a couple of things that are already written. Now it's just a matter of if we get enough attention, then yeah, I'm happy to take any meeting I can get and say, hey, check out my other cool, great ideas, and let's get off to the races.
Wow. So where do you go? Do you go into another genre if you could? If you had a choice, would you stick to where you're at, or would you go into, like, say, I don't know, sci-fi or horror or something else?
I certainly think that. Well, that's a really good question. I was actually just at an event last night, and it really kind of challenged me in the thinking of this. The beauty of this film is that it doesn't ride one genre. So we are certainly comedic. It's a great popcorn movie. If you've never seen it, go watch it. You'll laugh. But the thing I love about it is the amount of drama that we pack in with the dark comedy that really kind of thumps you in the chest. And for me, that was really gratifying to be able to do both. So I think that's where, selfishly, where my talents lie. I will absolutely tell you, I'm no good at horror. I've never watched horror. I am a complete sissy. I don't like it as a genre. I like the really psychological stuff. So think Silence of the Lambs, but jump cut horror gore, like I've seen enough real that I don't need to watch it on TV. So I'm not. I certainly wouldn't even attempt to go for a horror flick. But the sci-fi stuff. The funny thing is, this movie, from a construct perspective, if you were to strip away the EMS and the broader storylines, it really does play like a sci-fi film or a war film. So those kind of four general genres, right? Comedy, medical, horror, or I'm sorry, sci-fi and war movies. I think that skill set exists, and if you looked at the core competencies for those styles of movies, you would find that in Code 3, because Code 3 is really an outsider's perspective into this world, and so that's not foreign from sci-fi. You could be visiting a different planet, and this one you're visiting what it's really like to sit in the back of an ambulance, and the vast majority of the population doesn't have that experience for good reason.
Yes, for good reason. Wow.
Well,
so,
if they were in the back of an ambulance, it probably was the bad reason.
Yeah, the bad
Typically,
reason,
yeah.
that's for sure.
It's one of my favorite lines in the movie. Is it opens up. It's something I used to say all the time. I'm your best friend on your worst day.
Tell us what's some I don't know, key points or tips and tricks that you would recommend to anyone that's writing a screenplay. Somebody's starting out, and they're starting to kind of get into it. They have an idea. What advice would you give them?
Just keep writing. There's no way to get good at writing without writing a lot.
Yeah.
And whether it's an idea, whether it's a script, whether it's fan fiction of something that already exists, just write it. Make it happen. The first draft is going to be garbage. Don't be beholden to perfection, especially not in the first couple of drafts. You got it. The only way to get good at it is to practice and to put it on paper. If you don't put it on paper, you're what I lovingly refer to as an idea guy, and there is a bazillion idea guys. We don't need more ideas.
Yeah,
you got to do something with that idea, and you'll get better at deciding what can I trim, what really moves the story forward, what is the main message that this character needs to tell, what's the arc of the story. But the only way to do that is to continually write. And even though this is my first foray into screenwriting, I wrote a novel in college that has never seen the light of day for good reason. But I wrote it as kind of like a challenge to myself, just to see if I could do it. And I've written a lot of articles in like EMS magazines and things like that, trade publications as it pertained to leadership, patient experience, EMS operations, etc., just to continue to stretch that muscle. So I had writing chops, but not screenwriting chops. And again, when you start out, it's going to be terrible. And you have to be able to laugh at that first draft. The first draft of Code 3, I recently reread it, and it was awful. You could have taken that first draft, thrown it in the air, the pages land where they lie, and that story would have been the same. It's just the way it was originally written was you go to the call and you go to the hospital. You go to the call, you go to the hospital. You go to the call, and there was no real narrative arc. We worked really hard to make sure that the story would make sense to outsiders, what I like to call normal humans. But it's one of those things where just make it exist. That's the most important thing. And when people offer you advice, be very cautious about it because uh, you are, as the creator, it's your baby. You don't have to take every piece of advice that comes your way, especially if it's a story that you want to tell that you're passionate about. However, if it comes from somebody that you respect, you got to take the criticisms and you have to be able to adjust when someone that you believe in or that you respect, like a professor or a colleague, like when Chris would tell me something was bad, I ultimately ended up having a relationship with him that was like, no, he's right. And so we would talk about it, we would break it, we would come back together on things. And, over 14 years, I'm happy to report, at least I'm from my end, Chris is one of my closest friends. But it's always tough when you write something and they're like, this isn't working for me. And it's like, but I love it. Uh, we're getting rid of it. We got to do something else with it. So yeah, that's my advice. You just have to keep working at it, and tell the story that only you can tell. Like everybody has seen Star Wars, and I'm certainly never going to badmouth it. That's not what I'm trying to say. But you know, I'll give your audience the same advice that was given to me that blew my socks off, and that is write what you know, tell the story that only you can tell, and that's what's gonna gain traction if you're looking for any kind of commercial success. But stories that are intimate, that have narrative, that have character driven storylines are the things that matter. Nobody cares about the plot. They care about the people that move the plot forward. So if you make your characters interesting,
That's good. Oh man, wow! Those are golden words right there. Everything you've been saying. A lot of our fans are also writers, whether they're into fan fiction or national bestsellers. We run the gambit. So we love having those pearls of wisdom that you're imparting. We appreciate that. What like where do you go from here now? I mean, you said you're shopping things out. Your brother's involved. He's a producer, and you've hit it. You've hit it, right? You hit the jackpot, and so now, how do you keep the ball rolling? Like, what's the next thing that you're doing?
yeah, it's always about the next thing, and it's really what you just said. It's about pitching your next idea, and we haven't gotten any major bites yet, but we're also still very early on in Code 3's life cycle, so we are eagerly awaiting to see what the numbers look like. I mean, if it was only based on the people that were IMing or DMing me or sending me messages, you'd think I was a rock star. But we're all waiting to see how many people pay to watch. Let me say it that way. Anybody can go pirate. Don't do that. But we need to, until the numbers come in. It's kind of like you're graded on your previous work. And so if we can show that we're commercially successful, then it gets a lot easier to pick up the phone call and say, hey, I got an idea for my next thing. But I'm incredibly happy with where I'm at. We were talking to a college class this morning, my brother and I, and we were joking and just said, like, no one on our project got paid $1 million. We all work regular jobs Monday through Friday, unless of course this thing goes to the moon, in which case, I would be incredibly grateful for that. But we the movie's over as far as we're done, other than these conversations I get to have with really wonderful people. But as far as the paychecks go, unless we go to the moon, like I have been paid, and now it's like the mortgage is due on the first of the month, so you got to go do something.
Right. Oh, that's the reality check that goes into this. I had a colleague of mine that had an option on a screenplay. He had been paid upfront $25,000 for, I think it was a 3-year option, and he quit his job and got a bungalow in Florida and was waiting for that call that never came. And so, it never got made, it never nothing. It sat on a shelf. He did write a second screenplay, but he was already out of that mindset and just moved on with his life. And nobody would have known. It just so happened that we brought up this conversation. He had kind of turned his back on all of it, and I thought it was interesting. But I guess having the right outlook is also a positive thing, right? So there's a practical side to all this, but you're still working on the side and doing things, and That's great, man. I got to ask you about format. How important is the format? There's a lot of, pros and cons, and people talk, say one thing or another. Tell me your opinion on formatting a screenplay.
Well, I think it comes down to the same answer over and over again as what's the story that you want to tell. And for me, when we first started this, it was about burnout and the brokenness of U.S. healthcare. The short story was really me screaming into the void. I mean, it was a lot darker than the script was. The script ended up, even the first draft of the script was more of a darker comedy. So it's kind of like this. We felt that the best way to tell the truth was through humor. And the nice thing about humor is even when it gets dark, you can slip in quite a bit of truthfulness if there's a punchline at the end of it. And even if the punchline is the truthful part that hurts, we felt like we could get darker. As far as formatting goes, we're not Code 3 is not your typical 3-act structure movie, because it's also one of the reasons it was really hard to get funding for, because it's not your typical rom-com. There's no romance in this movie. There's no love interest. It's this chaotic world of we're basically going out to do good. Our hero, so to speak, is Randy, but he's certainly not an anti-hero. I kind of hate that term, but it's about his journey, and the ultimate question was, does EMS break him, or does he come back and realize that this is what he truly is meant to do? And that ended up being kind of like our mantra through the entire rest of the story. That's what opened up a lot of different avenues. So every call we went on, we originally had something like 40 calls to kind of pick from the Rolodex, and each one was tailored to now that we have the narrative arc. The narrative arc is, does Randy come back to work, or is he burnt out and he lives happily ever after selling insurance? That's really what the question of the movie is. And we get a chance to yell at people about insurance, about health disparities, about racial profiling, and over the opioid epidemic. We get this great opportunity to shout at people and say, like, there's a lot of things wrong with this. So when it comes to formatting, I'm first of all, I'm not the best person to ask. I guess I should have started with that as opposed to belabor the point. But the second part is, I'm also not bound by those rules. So again, it took us more than a year to determine what the arc of the story was going to be, knowing that we had something great, and then teasing it out and poking and prodding it, breaking it, literally breaking it, and reforming it, and then finally it kind of shows itself to you. And I realize that sounds nauseating probably to some of your listeners, but it's the truth. And that's why I said earlier on, the only way to get good at this is to do it. And, there were holidays where, I'd be in a room just writing on where I think the story would go and sending those pages to Chris, and Chris going, oh, I was thinking about that, and this adds to this. And, so again, formatting, because it's not my area of expertise, I can give you this advice. I know that there's the 8 reels kind of methodology and the 3-act format, both of which hold immense value. And ultimately, your job is to tell a compelling story where your hero goes through a challenge and comes out changed, and then gets somewhat back into normal life. So that's the very oversimplified version of that. And I'm not a scripting instructor for that reason, but you will find your story once you find out what it is that your characters really want.
Very, very cool. There's still a couple of outstanding questions. Some of them, I think Chris the Tipsy Toaster is going to want to pose himself.
Sure.
I did want to mention this, though. I want to tell you that Code 3 is doing really well on social media. I caught your trailer more than once on just the feeds. It popped up more than once, and I was surprised. I don't know if it's because Chris the Tipsy Toaster was talking about it.
I'll weave that in there, Pete. Yeah.
It came up
silent influence.
Yeah, in the last 2 weeks, I've seen it a bunch of times. I don't know if it's your people or not, but it's out there, and I personally think it makes a difference for whatever that's worth. So
we
Tipsy,
really
I
hard
know
to
that
build relationships with those with the influencer space, because I mean, don't get me wrong, we had an amazing PR team and an amazing distribution team that was working the traditional modalities. So, like if you watch late night, Rain was on The Daily Show. He was on Late Night with Seth Meyers. He was on the Good Morning America in New York. So they did the typical press stuff. And just to be clear, like nobody cares about the writer, right? Like I wasn't invited to those shows for a reason, but
unfortunately,
well,
but that's why you're here.
That's right.
Why you're here.
I'll take my audience anywhere I could get.
No,
them.
Listen, you're in the right place. We actually take pride in the fact that we like to do the behind the scenes. Below the line is kind of like where we like to kind of cruise. We do a lot of authors, the directors as well and stuff like that. And, we've done screenwriters, but, that's where we like to cruise. So you're definitely in the right place. But I know Tipsy, Chris has got a whole bunch of questions. So go ahead. Yeah. Come on. I'm not holding back.
So did this start out as a comedy or did it just kind of morph into it?
It was always a comedy. It was a much darker comedy. The very first script was intently trying to be funny, but it was in a much darker space because that's where I was. Mm-hmm. And I've been open on this on all of the interviews that I've done. Like I'm 85% Randy. The movie is not an autobiography. The main character is named Randy for a reason. But I was certainly burnt out and, like I said, screaming in the void about how upset I was about things. And part of that process, the cathartic process of writing this, was also being able to look hindsight over 12 years of working 911 in various states and saying, like, these are the things that I've seen, and here's how we can tell that story narratively. I'm sorry. And the best way to tell the truth, I still think, is through that comedic lens. And when you're able to do that, when you have that moment, for me, it was also part of the process where I was going through therapy to kind of become normal again, is what I tell everybody, because my family was kind of sick and tired. They didn't want to hang out with me anymore. And I was very, very fortunate that I never struggled with drug addiction or alcoholism or self-cancellations. I know you're on YouTube, or those thoughts. So I was very lucky. That doesn't mean that I'm better than the people who do have those struggles. I was just very fortunate. But I was crispy and an asshole, and people did not like hanging around with me for a reason. And I think that's another major issue that we have with the healthcare system is, like, what are the resources for the people that do this job or any of the associated work around, 911.
Yeah.
And comedy was always the goal.
And I know, being a first responder myself, I know the dark humor that you share with your coworkers that doesn't go well at home.
Nobody wants to talk to you at Thanksgiving anymore.
No.
Right?
But I think it's I love that you've taken something and created something that's entertaining but also educational in a way. You've created something that kind of wakes people up. It is frustrating to see how much people are not treated as well just because they're a specific job or anything like that. They don't realize how much you have to go to school or how much work you have to put in just to do this job. And it's frustrating and you're like, why do I keep coming back? I could make just about as much money as being a Walmart door greeter. But there's that special love that you have for your profession. There's a special love that you have, and then you put that information into a script, and that's what we love here. It's just it's like you were a fan of the job. You saw a problem, and you're frustrated and you're burned out, and instead of just quitting and just canceling it out and going somewhere else and just finishing it off, you are writing about something. You're making something creative about it. You're educating other people about it. I think it's kudos for you. I think it's so fantastic that you've done that. And we always love writers and people behind the scenes. And like Pete was saying, we're the ones that we like to see. Actors are great. Directors are great. All these people are great. But the thing starts somewhere first. And the first place it starts is in the mind of the writer. And that's where it started here. And I think when I saw this movie, and I'm going to later on, I've got. Oh, that's right. I'm going to send you a script. Just kidding. I have an idea for a script. We'll get together later, okay? Definitely. It's just because I happen to go with my wife to the show. She's like, I could. I was like, okay. All right, so we'll write something up and I'll throw it out there, see what happens. But it was a fantastic show to watch. I think, and from what I understand, every one of the things that were in here were relatively something that actually happened.
Yeah, so every scene that you watch in the movie is derived from real life. And what I have told everyone is, like, every character in this movie is kind of an amalgamation of, again, a dozen years of experience. So people always ask me about Mr. President. Mr. President is a real person, but Mr. President is not just one guy. It's 15 guys that I remember and wrote a story about. And so the things that you see are all inherently based on real life experiences that I had working 911. Now, Mr. President is not John Doe at 1314 Dirt Lane, but
right.
You accumulate all of these things and they become Mr. President.
Right, they become that character. All the different things that you've done. It's like it's kind of similar. Put it together. That's fantastic. And I'm just blown away that this is kind of like your first. Your first script is just like, wow, talk about winning the lottery. It's that good. It's not like someone gave this to you. You earned it. You put something together that was amazing.
You put a lot of work in this script,
yeah.
So I will absolutely accept your compliment.
Yeah.
it was a lot of work.
And it's such a great show to watch. And if anybody hasn't done it yet, I did post a link for everybody to click on and either rent or buy. Go ahead and buy it. Trust me, you want to buy it from Amazon or wherever that you may find it. Gotta watch it.
Amazon and Apple right now are the two that are hosting it or that have it.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, going back to what you were saying earlier about the influencer space, when you start making it, right? There's three movies. There's the movie you write, the movie you shoot, and the movie that you edit.
Mm-hmm.
And I only had control over the first one because I wrote it. Well, Chris and I wrote it. I certainly am not taking away his credit too. But when it comes to shooting, Chris is the director. Like, my only job on set was his hand's in the wrong spot. And if Chris still wanted that shot, guess what? It stayed in. He's the director. And then the editing process is 1,000% Chris. I was in on a couple of editing bays, like at the very beginning, at the very middle, and at the very end to kind of say, like, yeah, this plays off well. But those three different things are mostly out of the span of control once you've written, if you're just a writer. But the beauty of the relationship that I have with Chris was it allowed me to be on set on time every day. The relationship I had with the actors was fantastic because we got to train them. I got them for basically 12 hours one day and took them from nothing to learning how to do CPR and all the things that are in the script. And anytime we were getting ready to do something medical, especially complex medical, like at the baseball scene or whatever, they were really invested. And that was the beauty of it, was the investment of the cast and the crew once they realized what it was, the story that we were telling. It wasn't cowboys versus aliens kind of thing. We were trying to tell a story, and they all took it to heart. They all saw the heart behind the movie, and but even with that, you still don't know what the final project is going to look like. And so I'm very grateful for Chris's vision, for the people that believed in it. And the nice thing is, when I was reaching out to these influencers online that were specific to fire and EMS, I could send them the trailer and say, hey, listen, like, I've done the job for a dozen years. We've made something we think we're really proud of. Will you watch it? Will you take a look at the trailer? And all that stuff was organic. So anything that you see online, by and large, we certainly had the PR team as well. But most of it was just me contacting people out of the blue that I really liked, like Fire Department Chronicles, EMT Badge 502, the Salty Paramedic, like all of these people that if you're in this industry, you've seen their content. Like, I was a fan. I don't know them. I do now a little bit. But it was kind of like, hey, man, we made this thing. You want to check it out? And it just really resonated with that community, which is arguably for me the biggest bar of success. Because I like, don't get me wrong, this movie, whether it goes to the moon or not, is not going to pay my house off. But what I care about is that the people who watch it really like it and love it, And the
There
thing
you
that I
go.
find really funny about when you read the comments or when you're looking at reviews, it's like the people who like it love it. The people who hate it because it's totally all over the place. That's the common thing, is pick a lane is the most, if I had to pick the biggest critique of it. And it's like, no, that's the point.
Yep.
But anyway, that's a very long-winded answer, and I've already forgotten what the original question was. But that's sorry about that.
You're fine. I think you've become a champion in a way
yeah.
for a lot of EMS and a lot of people there. You've awakened. You've brought attention to some people who don't know about what goes on, don't know about the burnout, don't know about the low pay, don't know about all the training that you have to go through. It's kind of wish that part I would have put in more. Like had Randy go to some kind of training that would be just like
Go to ACLS class or something.
Yes, exactly.
I was on an interview a few days ago, and I was talking about, like, I blew the interviewer's mind, and I said, well, to get to the paramedic level, went back when I did. Again, we're talking 20 years ago because I'm old. It was a 2-year program.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you went to paramedic school, then you had to go get ACLS, which is Advanced Cardiac Life Support,
Yep.
which is a 2 to 3 day class in and of itself, which is completely separate. Then you had to do Pediatric Advanced Life Support, which is that for little babies, which is another 2 to 3 day class. And then you had to go take Pre-Hospital Trauma Life Support, which is a trauma class, which is, again, another 2 or 3 day class. And each one of those classes costs like $200. And
Yep.
no one else is paying for that unless you're like in a department that's paying for that. So, you're shelling out for your paramedic school. And then every 2 years, I got to pay $200 to each of these 3 certification cards just to work. So like an entire month's of work goes into just getting my license.
Getting your license, exactly.
But the other thing too, really quickly, I want to point out was, well, I'm very grateful for the feedback to the film, but we always took the position that we are not so smart as to tell you what the answer is. We're happy to point out
Right.
where we see major fissures and problems in the industry, healthcare writ large, and we do touch a little bit on reimbursement rates. There's like 1 or 2 lines to it.
Mm-hmm.
But, the simple answer is always like, well, just pay them more. Well, listen, I've worked in healthcare for 20 years and I've worked in some senior executives' rooms, but now you start talking about government reimbursement rates, the way that EMS is not an essential service. It's regulated by DOT, not the FDA. And so, none of your viewers care about this, and
Right.
we're not going to tell a compelling story narratively about those things. But we can sit there and shout and go, the pay sucks, fix it.
Right. and I think
Keep it simple.
If you even even that simple, you've raised awareness of that to other people who would have no clue, and then maybe somebody will actually look into it and do something about it. But at least you have the opportunity to get people get their attention in such a fantastic and entertaining way. I think you've done. You are a fan of of paramedics, and it shows that you've put together something that resonates with other people, as well as not just your family group, all the fans that you have, or just the paramedics, but it goes farther out. And it's a fantastic movie. I'm so humbled and to hear that it's just so great. It's like, hey, this guy did it. There's a possibility that somebody else can do it.
Somebody else could hit the lottery.
Somebody else could hit this lottery.
So
listen, you just got to be able to hear no a bazillion times and just say, I'm going to do it anyway. Like, that's really, if my brother's anything else, you put a hard hat on him and he will just charge through any wall you put in front of him. And he's the only reason I'm sitting in this chair, because had he just given up on Chris, we wouldn't be talking.
Wow.
That's the thing. And
that's it. So that's part of the takeaway. Pat, here's to Code 3. Here's to your perseverance and everybody that worked on the team and helped it happen. And we're fans of your work. We're fans of the movie. And thank you for taking the time out to stop in. And if you ever want to come back and talk about anything else that's out there, absolutely.
Something new come out. Let us know. We'd love to hear about that.
Absolutely.
Don't worry, I will reach out to you with my idea. Just kidding.
Hey, listen, I'll come back anytime you're willing to have me.
Outstanding. Pat, thank you so much. Here's to you, man.
Here's to you.
Cheers.
Take care. Fans feel the fleet.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man. those you could just write it down. Like watch.
Yeah, glad that's recorded. We can go back and rewatch that.
Right. So we had the one of the writers, the original writer of the screenplay for Code 3 was our guest. And if you guys are interested in how to put together your ideas, your thoughts, you have a vision for your own story and maybe a screenplay, go back and listen to it if you haven't. And even if you did, there's really cool insights in there. So we're lucky to have a guest that was willing to open up and tell us all about that. And so Code 3 is out right now.
Yep.
If you get a chance, watch it. I know Tipsy Toaster is like a big fan, and it's nuts that we were able to get him to come on. We have our next guest is in the green room. And I'm only going to tell you, I'm going to use a couple of his titles, right? So it's really cool that we also have the follow-up is Philip J. Cook. He's director, writer, editor, plus. So we'll have him come on and he's going to tell us all about, the rest of, his titles and the things that he's done. And he's made quite a bunch of movies. I'm going to ask him a little bit about, amongst all the things that he's made, all the films that he's done a fan film. He did he took his world and then kind of shaped it into a Star Wars fan film episode. I saw the trailer for it. It looked really cool. But his other work is fantastic as well. But that's kind of like where I zeroed in. And we're gonna have him on, and we're gonna talk some film. We're gonna talk about his perspective. He's been doing this for many years. Has a really lengthy IMDb, and we're lucky to have him on. So Phil, welcome to Interfleet Broadcasting. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. So you've been making film, for years now, and
Jurassic era.
Yes, it's awesome. How did you break in? Tell us, let the fans know all about, where you're coming from. I know that Eagle Films is part of your one of your companies, if not the company, and you have a line. There's Malice. You got to explain that at some point as well. So I'll let you run with that.
So right out of college, I had a buddy. We were sci-fi fans, and we wanted to make a feature. And this was back in the 80s. We wanted to make a science fiction feature. And back in the 80s, if you're going to make an indie film, you're going to make a horror movie, right? You're going to get a bunch of teenagers, a knife, a house in the woods, and that's the kind of movie we're going to make. That's not the kind of movie we made. We made a movie that had all these sets and visual effects and cities and Blade Runner-y stuff. And we went out, we raised a bunch of money through private investment from dentists and lawyers. Again, this is like 1985.
Wow.
Shot it on film, set up a studio in an orange juice warehouse for Tropicana, because they had some space that we rented and built sets. And we made the movie, and we started shopping it around, and people say, you're never going to get this movie distributed. We did, and it ended up on the Sci-Fi Channel. The year the Sci-Fi Channel came out, and ran on the Sci-Fi Channel for like 10 years. And it was called Beyond the Rising Moon. And as a result of that, we're young guys. I'm like 25. Ooh, Hollywood's going to come calling. Well, that never really works out, right? So here we are trying to get another movie off the ground, another very involved Cold War era, Dr. Strangelove, UFO, X-Files type film. And this is way before the X-Files. We raised about $50,000, went out and shot half the movie, and then we couldn't raise any more money. So I took my VHS tape of half the film to the American film market in California and started walking it around. And I ended up in Menachem Golan's suite. And if you remember Menachem, he was Cannon Films, he was Chuck Norris, he was Missing in Action, he was Death Wish, he was that guy. And he took a look at the tape and he said, how much money do you need? And we felt we needed $50,000, but the first words that came out of my mouth was $175,000. And he said, okay. It's like, that doesn't happen, right? That's like a fantasy story. And he gave us the money, and we finished this film called Invader, which he got on HBO, Showtime, and Cinemax, which ran forever for like 10 years. And these are these really quirky kind of sci-fi things, but they're such a product of the era of which they are made in, that people still seek them out, right? There's like, oh, this is such an 80s sci-fi. This is such a 90s Cold War era thing. And all of a sudden these films are kind of popular again for inexplicable reasons. You can find them on Tubi TV. You can find them on Amazon. But then I didn't make a film for about 10 years. And then I decided to make this film called Despiser, which, this is back when there were like 15,000 Blockbuster video stores and 25,000 Errols all across the country. And we made this film, this crazy film about some guy who crashes his car and ends up in purgatory fighting demons in the afterlife. And it got into every one of those video stores. I mean, we sold like 50,000 VHS and DVDs and what have you. And at the time it came out, it was a really stylized movie. It had a lot of green screen and digital visual effects and such. And I don't think people knew quite what to make of it, because this is before the 300 had come out. This is before Sin City had come out. This is before Sky Captain of the Universe came out. And it's like, what the hell is this movie, man? It's so crazy. But 25 years later, it's popped. It's become a cult thing. People love this film, Despiser, or at least people in geeky sci-fi nostalgia fandom love it. And it was recently featured in an episode of Corridor Crew or Corridor Digital, if you know who those guys are. They've got a big YouTube channel. They've got like 2 million followers. And they had a special episode called Visual Effects So Bad You Might Just Fall in Love with Them.
Man.
I know. Again, this film was made in like 2000. We shot it in 1998. And we did it on desktop computers, 486 computers and 386 computers. And people, it had heart, it had a good story, it had good characters, and that resonated with people after all these years. Finally, it found its audience. Now the VHS tapes are going for like $50 a piece. It's like, Really? VHS? No. We want the VHS tape. Not the DVD. We want the VHS tapes. Like, really? VHS is the new vinyl. So, again, I didn't make another film for probably another 10 years. And then I started, YouTube at that point had just really started to pop. Google had bought it. All of a sudden, people were creating content on YouTube. And I thought, the one thing you're not seeing on YouTube is narrative storytelling. Because they were making, David Goes to the Dentist and all kinds of funky, weird, anecdotal stuff, but nobody was telling narrative storytelling. So we created this series called Malice, which was about this 16-year-old girl fighting monsters. And we made it in 5-minute episodes, but really compelling episodes. Like you click on one, it was such a cliffhanger, you had to click on the next one and the next one and the next one. And it got a following, but I realized why nobody was making this kind of content for YouTube. There was just no way to keep the quality up, right? I just couldn't produce episodes on a weekly basis this quickly. And so we started cutting the web series into movies, and then we got the movies on Hulu. So then they ran on Hulu for a couple of years. And in an attempt to try to get a bigger audience, we made these sci-fi tributes. We did one where we took our main character, Alice, and put her in the Space 1999 TV show. I don't know if you remember that old TV show.
Yes, absolutely. We're fans.
You can find that on my YouTube channel. And then we did one where we put her in a Star Wars universe. So we sort of transported our characters, because this is a character who has some wild imagination. So we did this really elaborate 15-minute Star Wars adventure with the characters from our TV show, fully expecting Disney was going to sue us. And in the end, we ended up winning visual effects from the Disney Star Wars fan film.
Yep, I remember that.
2013? I can't remember what year it was. But it's like, oh, well, we didn't get sued. Oh, my God. And my trophy, you know what the Academy Award trophy looks like, right? The golden guy. They gave me a golden stormtrooper with a movie camera.
Wow.
No oh,
there are only
cool.
like 6 of these in the world. And I got one of them. It's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
So that was Malice. And so we got out of the web series business, and then we went back into making features, and we made a film called Pungo: A Witch's Tale, which is based on a true life, and anecdotally, we go off on our own direction of a witch, an actual witch that was tried for witchcraft in Virginia back in 1610, and then I finally returned back making science fiction. Last year, we just made a film called Ghost Planet, which is sort of a tribute to the kinds of sci-fi films I loved as a kid. Because, growing up in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, sci-fi was hard to come by, until Star Wars came along. And Star Wars, which is such a transporting event, we would watch anything back then, anything that was remotely sci-fi. It was just really cool to see. And this film, Ghost Planet's actually resonated with the audiences of that era. I mean, it's not a Marvel movie. It's nowhere near of that production value. But anybody who's into Star Trek or that era of storytelling, it resonates with them. And then right now, and we're shooting again on Friday, we're doing a kind of I'm not even going to call it a sequel, but a film adjacent to Despiser. We're shooting a film right now called Echoes of Dread, which we hope to have done by the end of the year. We're starting a crowdfunding campaign starting next week. So this is a film related to the Despiser universe, if any of your people know what that film is. And so that's kind of it in a nutshell. That's about 25, 30 years or 40 years worth of insanity.
Wow. So tell us, how, Phil, what if we wanted to jump on the Kickstarter? You say it's opening up. What do we look for?
Just type in the film we're working on is called Echoes of Dread, and it'll be live on Kickstarter next week. And it's interesting. I thought the reason you were reaching out was because of this film Despiser, because we've been getting requests for screenings all over the country. And mind you, this is a film that was made 25 years ago, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, can we run this in a theater in Seattle? Can we run this in this little bohemian theater in New York? Can we run this in a theater in North Carolina? It's like, really?
Wow.
Sure.
That's cool.
It's like,
Talk about
it took
cult
25 years
status.
for this film to finally find its audience.
That's great. That is
Yeah.
congratulations.
It beats a stick in the eye.
Wow. Yeah, it sure does. Wow, that is fantastic news. Well, we here at IFB, we are our thing is 70s and 80s and a little bit of the 90s. We're here because of the love of those particular decades, and specifically Battlestar Galactica 1978, right? That's what brought this about. So here we are.
I
6
think
years.
you'll like Ghost Planet. It was made for you.
Oh, see, there you go, guys. You heard it here from the director himself. Did you write it as well, Phil?
Yeah. I wanted to make the kind of movie that I wish I would have loved to have seen as a kid, right? You get in a spaceship with your crew and you go to a mysterious world and have an adventure. And, that's simple. It's really it's basically it's a treasure island in space, right? Instead of a mysterious island, you go to this creepy world that, is it run by ghosts or is it an alien intelligence? It's kind of fun, spooky in a sci-fi. I don't know if you read much sci-fi. It's sort of like an Andre Norton novel, if you read any of those novels as a kid, or like early Heinlein, that kind of.
Sure, of course. Oh, yeah. You kidding?
Vibe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That is so cool. So this new project, how long did it take you to set this up? You're looking to get funding. So walk us through a little bit of that, if you would, Phil. Like, the script came about, and then, like from the concept, you did the script, and now you're going to Kickstarter. Can you give us a timeline and when you think this will be done?
Well, it started really quickly. Really back in January of this year. I was deciding, this film Ghost Planet took 3 years to produce because it had so many visual effects, so many sets, so many costumes, spacesuits, miniatures, all this kind of thing. I mean, if you look at it, you're like, it doesn't look like $100 million movie, but you don't understand, this movie was made by like 5 people. So everything has to be made, and it took forever. And there's a reason why I'm not going to make another science fiction film set in space. It's just way too hard. So I wanted to do something that wasn't that difficult. And Despisers started to sort of become popular because around December of last year, this YouTube channel called Corridor Digital did this special on it. It's like, wow, and people keep asking for, buying VHS tapes and DVD tapes and what have you from me. So I thought, what if I kind of revisit elements of this film? Because, we made it 25 years ago, so the cast is quite a bit older, and sort of give it some new energy. So the script actually came together probably in about less than 2 months. By May, we were casting. By June, we had 3/4 of the movie shot. We've been picking up various shoot days along the way because we needed to we had to get a giant fuel truck and have somebody who was willing to loan us a giant gasoline truck for the finale. Because that was a whole thing, man. We got to get a fuel truck. We don't get the fuel truck, we can't finish the picture. And so we shot that about, probably not even a month ago. We're doing a shoot this Saturday night. So quite frankly, the whole thing from start to finish is going to be in less than 12 months. The Kickstarter, I finally going, we got to try to raise a little bit of money to try to finish the post-production. I mean, mind you, these films are made for not a lot of money. And in this independent, I was listening to your gentleman, Patrick, in this world, it's really hard to make money on an independent film. Really hard. Almost impossible, to be quite frank. I mean, you can make some money, but it's not like people think, oh, you made a movie, it's going out there. And I think he'll be the first to tell you, he's not buying an island, right? He's not buying another house. It's hard, man. Unless you've somehow put your deal together with Hulu, or your deal with Amazon, or your deal with Netflix, which are very difficult deals to make because, me and 1,000 other guys are trying to get an audience with those people to hustle them on your idea. And I gave up on trying to hustle people out of money. You spend years chasing money, and you spend money trying to get money. And then all it takes is one element to collapse, and 1 or 2 years just goes up in smoke, just like that. So we started financing our own films. And we do them really small, but we don't lose money. We end up getting our money back. We make a little bit of money on it. It keeps my skill set sharp. For the other types of work that I do, which is a lot of political advertising. That sort of pays for my bad habits, i.e. independent filmmaking. And, in this backwater of independent genre films, we're doing pretty well. But it's a very difficult field to be in. If you're spending $250,000 on a little independent film and all you're doing is getting it on Amazon, Tubi TV, and a few others, you're going to lose your butt. You're just never going to recover that money.
Wow.
Because I see the numbers. I see these numbers coming in all the time, and there are a few films that break out, but very, 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 very few.
So we're just so that we reintroduce anybody that's coming on now in the middle of this, or jumping on later on in a rerun. We're here with director Phil J. Cook, and we're talking about projects that you've done and films that you're making now. There's a film in the process, in the pipeline, and you're about to go into a Kickstarter. And I wanted to ask you though, real quick, are these projects SAG-AFTRA, or are they waived?
No,
How do you deal
definitely
with that?
non-union.
Okay.
We're in Virginia. It's a right-to-work state, but no, because as soon as you enter the SAG-AFTRA world, you have that contractual baggage. And I know they have the low-budget film agreement, but basically what that low-budget film agreement means is, first dollars out are ours. So you could spend 3 years making a movie, but, and if your movie only makes $25,000, that 25 grand is going right out the door to the SAG-AFTRA, not to the producers, not to anybody else. And it's also, as far as I'm concerned, it's contractual baggage that I need to take with me to my distributors. If I could raise the kind of money, if my marketplace justified that, I would happily do it. But the simple reality of the fact is, if I made a SAG-AFTRA film, I'm never going to get my money back, ever.
Right.
And that's just the ugly reality of it. It's not a decision you make easy. It's just that's how it works.
And so, again, for all the fans that are watching and IFB out there, Right. So Phil has been in the business for decades, and he's coming from a very specific perspective on his experiences making all of these films, and we've dabbled a little bit as well, Phil. So we know exactly where you're coming from. We're definitely in the same corner. I wanted to ask you a little bit more if we could dig into the Kickstarter. What are the fans going to get? Do they get their names in the credits or not?
Yeah.
Or
The Kickstarter isn't up yet, right?
No,
No.
it'll be up probably at the end of this week. Not this week,
Okay.
the following week.
Okay.
It'll probably mature or finish before Thanksgiving. We feel that's kind of a good time to get in because it's like a 30-day thing. Usually 30 days is what they tell you. I mean, I've run 5 other previous Kickstarters, which were successful.
Cool.
We're not raising a lot of money. We're only asking for $4,500, so it's not a huge
Wow, that's
ask.
not bad at all.
But at the same time, you got to pick a number that you actually have a snowball's chance of achieving.
Right.
Sure, I'd love to raise $100,000. I can tell you, I could never raise $100,000. I don't have a big enough fan base. It's really hard. But things that we have, props from the movie, we've got paintings from the movie because one of the main characters is an artist. We've got all kinds of posters and memorabilia from the original film Despiser. So for those Despiser fans, we've got some of the original troll props that I think if you're into this movie, and some people really are, they're going to want. But the bigger dollar items that we're really looking for, associate producer credit or executive producer credit. I mean, they're not really expensive. It's like $2,500 for an executive producer, which is for an IMDb credit for a movie that's absolutely going to be finished, is absolutely going to get distributed. That's a pretty sweet, guaranteed thing. I mean, there's no profit participation, but you get your name, you get your credit. And, a lot of people having a hard time getting an IMDb credit. So,
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, I've produced 9. Well, this is my 9th film. So all you got to do is go on IMDb, or every one of these movies is in distribution as we speak. Every single one of the films I've made going back to 1985, you can still see today or get it on DVD or Blu-ray. I've got I've got a German company coming out with the entire Phil Cook collection.
Oh, wow.
Master Blu-ray. This guy with Oliver Krenkel went crazy with all the extras and up
behind the scenes.
Well, you go back to the original materials. Like the name escapes me, but remastering, I think is what
we want in, Phil. We want in on the Kickstarter. We want to support. You gotta give us a chance to help you out because you send us all the links. Send us when and what, and we're gonna push it out. We'll put it up on IFB.
Yeah.
Walk
on rolls.
We like to support when we can and how we can. So we definitely want to give you a push. We want to see you get your next film out. You're not asking a lot. We raised over 11 grand on Kickstarter for our fan film, The Stranded Warrior. It's in the festival circuit and it's won about 20 awards so far. So
fun.
we know your pain, and we definitely want to support you. We want to, help you out as best we can. You're a fan, and that means a lot to us. We know. I mean, 6 seasons. We have over 300 episodes on air, and we've interviewed a lot of people, Phil. We know when a fan puts their heart into what they do, it's there. You can see it, it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a fan that made that. And we like that. There's a soft spot in our heart for that
You'll
type
have
of
to check out our Space 1999 special.
All right, cool. Absolutely.
on my
we will.
YouTube channel, Eagle Films on YouTube, Eagle Films channel. It's fun. Look, it's interesting because I loved that show as a kid. It was just such a fun, visually crazy show. But we made it with such sincerity that fans who keep finding it like 10 years later go, oh my God, you guys got to go on and remake this show. It's like, are you kidding me? Do you know how much work that was? Just to make this 15-minute show.
I'm in. Now, have you heard we had a guest named Jeffrey Morris, and he's
Jeffrey Morris, he's doing the Eagle
That's right.
documentary.
Yep.
I know about that. I've been following that for quite a while.
Yes, he came on our show. He's a fan of ours, and we're fans of his work. And I got to see the finished product, and it's phenomenal, man.
Oh,
I'm
great.
really impressed.
So where is he in distribution? Is it available yet, or?
He's when I believe they screened it at a festival.
Okay.
I was privy enough to get to see it. He shared it with me. I got to see it, and it is phenomenal. It's
Well, so
you will
he
enjoy
wanted
it.
to make the he wanted to revisit the show too,
Yes.
right? Yeah, like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and then
So
he ended up doing this documentary.
documentary. Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
So I get where he's coming from, but man, that when I saw that, it's like, oh man, that is a tough hill to climb because Star Trek's franchise never went fallow, right? It had been cultivated for half a century, and what is it,
Right.
multi-billion-dollar industry now? But Space 1999, except for guys like us, nobody really remembers who that
No,
show
it's a shame. It really is because it definitely has legs. It has potential even to this day. And I don't think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. They never brought it back. It never made a movie. They
No.
never. There's no remakes or
No, they
reimagined.
cannibalized old episodes and into movies, and then try to take them out in Europe as theatrical little releases. But it's
Yeah,
basically recannibalizing material that they'd already
yeah.
shot. Um,
What a shame.
yeah, yeah, it was a fun show. It was
It sure
particularly the first.
was.
The first season was gorgeous.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Phil, look, like I said, we want you to come back. Let's help you out as best we can. We're fans just like you and everybody else, and fellow, small time filmmakers, not on your level, but we're into this. So please share your Kickstarter with us. We'll put it up, and maybe when the film's done or whenever you want, we're open to have you back, and we could talk more, and we can the trailer. Maybe when you do the release for you do the trailer, maybe we can do a debut
Definitely.
here.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. So reach out to you through your
Yes, sir.
Facebook page, or
Yes, and
Facebook,
yeah,
YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll give you an email
Okay.
at the end of the show too.
yeah,
just
we'll
in
give
case.
you emails. We'll give you all the pertinent
Okay.
information.
Beautiful.
We definitely would love
And
to
you're in
have you.
Virginia, so am I. So
Oh, really? We're in Virginia.
I'm in Alexandria.
Oh, I'm in Falls Church.
Okay, not far.
That's where our studio is. So I got this little studio behind my house where we've been building spaceships.
Oh
That might
boy.
be cool just to go
You'll
check
have to
that
come
out.
visit.
I'll have to come check it out. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? We could do we could do a little spot. Maybe Tipsy Toaster goes down and you do a little interview,
Yeah.
and we
Or
use that to
During
kind of push the
Awesome
Kickstarter.
Con, we can all go down there too. So
Yeah, I bet I've spoken at Awesome Con 2 or 3 times. I actually screened that Star Wars special that you're referring to at Awesome Con.
Oh, that was a while ago though, wasn't it? A few years ago.
4 or 5. Yeah, I'm losing track of time. Within 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4
Yeah.
years.
Okay. All right. That was
Carabeo
probably-
is the one. That
Yeah,
runs it.
Joe Carabeo is also.
Yeah, Joe.
also
Joe's the
friend.
one who invited me.
Yep. Yeah, we've
I
interviewed him.
spoke on Joe's panels like 5 or 6 times now. When he needs to fill a slot, he goes, "Oh, Phil will do it. I'll get a
Phil's
warm body in that chair."
You're a good guy, Phil. You're a good guy. Joe's been on the show a bunch of times. We've interviewed him at conventions. He's come
Yep.
on. We've met him at Awesome Con. Last time we got to go, he sent us everybody that was screened at the festival at Awesome Con came down. We had a table at Awesome Con, and so we had a lot of fun with
Oh,
that.
fun.
But yeah,
Yeah, he's a
we'd
very
love to have you
talented
back,
guy.
Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see what kind of cool things we can get off Kickstarter.
Yeah. Let's see what we could. Yeah, for sure. I'm in, man. I'm in. You'll see my name up there, Phil.
Well, beautiful. I appreciate it, guys. Excellent.
Absolutely. Here's to you, Phil.
Yep.
Right, toast to you, and here's to your work, everything that you do, and the fact that you're a fan as well. That means a lot to us. So good luck. We're gonna back you up, and I hope to see you soon.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, guys.
Yes, sir. Fans
Cheers.
for the fleet.
Take care.
Oh, imagine you get a chance to, if you set it up and you go out and meet them, and you actually.
I'd like to see the sets. I mean, that's
that's
something I never had. Cool. We never got an opportunity to do when we filmed our.
No, that we haven't done.
The
that would
sets
be,
were. There's no way.
Yeah. Oh, we do a whole special. We'll do a whole, a whole thing on film,
behind the
movie,
scenes,
and behind the scenes IFB on on location. That'd be awesome, man.
Yep.
All right, very cool. So, we got to interview some really cool guests today.
Yeah, the writers, and I mean,
writer from Code 3, and then we had Phil Cook from Eagle Films. And he's done a whole bunch of stuff, including, I remember distinctly that, if I'm not mistaken, there were 2 Star Wars festivals. They only did it twice. I know for a fact they did it once, but I believe there was a second round, and he's one of the winners.
Wow.
That's incredible, man. I remember when they were doing it. I remember there was an actual they released, I don't know if it was the first or the second, Lucasfilm released the best of on a DVD. I don't know, it's probably out there somewhere, and it has all the winners of the Star Wars Film Festival that they did. They only did it, I believe it was 2 years, and that was the end of that. They didn't, they kind of like rounded up the best ones, and that was that. But so cool, man. I'm pretty impressed. I'm definitely going to support.
Definitely. Yeah, and I mean that's not a whole lot of money to begin with.
No, it's not. And I'll tell you, what comes around goes around. All of you guys out there helped us out when it came to the Stranded Warrior, and like I mentioned to Phil, let me give you guys latest stats on our the films. Right, I'm trying to maintain an award list. Sometimes it's a little difficult, but I have it here, and we've actually done very, very well for getting involved in a fan film. I've never actually been behind one of these before. I've arm's length when it came to fan films, but I jumped in because it's Battlestar Galactica and it's ours. And so for the Stranded Warrior to date, we have 20 various awards, and we've been selected into 26 festivals around the world. So that includes the Stranded Warrior, the film, right? It's a short film. It includes the trailer, and it includes the official poster. So that's a combined win, right? All of those together are 20 wins and 26 festivals. And Tipsy had asked me to put together a quick roundup of where it's been screened, right? Or with the festivals that the Stranded Warrior has been in. And so around the world, it's been in Sweden, Dubai, India, Spain, Canada, UK, Romania, Greece, Italy, and Hong Kong. And domestically, from East Coast to West Coast, Florida, New York City, Chicago, I mentioned California, Houston. Actually, the Houston Fan Film Festival is, I believe, tomorrow. I've mentioned this before. So Stranded Warrior has done really, really well. Thank you, everybody, for supporting, right? You guys supported us. You guys made it happen. All those wins are for the fandom. I like to tell you and always talk about the fact that The Stranded Warrior is a fan film based in 1978, right? It's a prequel to one of the episodes in Battlestar. And so we get a chance to show a totally different or newer generation, right? A different generation around the world are getting to see Battlestar Galactica, right? They're getting to see a little bit of what, Battlestar, the original, the 1978 kind of is, right? Because that's where it's set. It's a little darker, but there it is, and we had a lot of fun.
I have the trailer. You want me to hit it?
You want to? Yeah, let's show the trailer, man. That'd be great. All right, let's do it. Trailers, award-winning trailer for The Stranded Warrior. Here you go, guys.
There are those who believe the Cylon War is lost. That man cannot survive. Then there are the warriors.
At ease, warriors.
Men and women fighting for millennia.
We are Legions of the Fleet!
Warriors living with violence and death.
We are pretending to be the insectoids caught in the crawlin's web.
You snit rat. What the frack is going on?
Now, fight to survive all across the heavens.
Yay!
So cool to see it again. It's been a while since I watched that.
That's pretty cool, man. That's a great trailer, and it's won a bunch of awards internationally. And thank you guys again for that. The Stranded Warrior is in the Brooklyn Sci-Fi Film Festival. Like I told you guys, I told everybody, and I invited you. There was a reception. We put up some pictures. Myself, John One, George Giacomis, who's the DP on and co-producer on the Stranded Warrior, and myself. We were there. We had a good time. It was nice to meet other filmmakers, and so
that's cool.
It's digitally right. It's available. So they're having a digital festival, right?
I need to get that information and
yeah.
put it up here.
So if you guys want to see it, a lot of you asked. A lot of you, we've been putting it up and we've been telling you with updates on what's going on and everything else related to the festival circuit and the Stranded Warrior. And a lot of you asked, where can we see it? We want to see it. Well, Brooklyn Sci-Fi Film Festival, they gave us a code. So for a few dollars, you get to access the entire virtual festival that they have. There's 180 films, right? Short, micro short to long short to actual features. It's the best of the best. Stranded Warriors included. So if you want to watch it, you want to see it, guys,
and you want to vote for it,
yes, please vote for it. Yes. Well,
and you want to vote for it so we can win?
Vote for it. Yeah, go ahead. But it's your opportunity, right? So for a few dollars, not only do you get to watch the Stranded Warrior. Obviously, this is we don't make anything on it, right?
Yeah, we're not allowed to make any money.
No,
on it.
We're not allowed. Nope, make it.
Even if you go in and vote for it, that's just we're just sharing Battlestar Galactica with more people out there, and maybe showing Hollywood that this is still a viable thing.
Absolutely. So the fee is a fee that is set up by the film festival, the Brooklyn Sci-Fi Film Festival, and that is so that they can, basically put it up like they are, set up the platform, set up the film festival. That's what that's about. It has nothing to do with us.
Print brochures, all that stuff, yeah.
Yep, we had to. There's an entry fee to get into a festival. Almost, very few film festivals actually give waivers. We did not get a waiver, so we paid full fare to get into Brooklyn Festival, and so there you are. So thank you, everybody. Really, really appreciate your support. I'll also tell you that our other project, the Tower Protocol Resurrection, we have now collected 12 awards internationally and domestically, and we are in 9 film festivals. And so that is like Chris, the Tipsy Toaster, had asked me to do. The Tower Protocol is in one form or another being screened, screened or will be screened in the UK, France, Poland, India, UAE, Nepal, and in festivals in California, New York City, and hopefully in Vegas in November. We're waiting on word. Although the Tower Protocol is in Shockfest Film Fest, and we put up information. So for like, I don't know, $5, you can watch the Tower Protocol Resurrection plus all the other films that have made it into Shockfest. So there you go. There's perfect opportunity, guys. Those you asked for. You asked. Many of you were like, please, where do we get to see? Where do we get to see it? Here it is. You get to see. You choose. You want to see Stranded Warrior? You want to see the Tower Protocol? You want to see both? There you go. You go to Brooklyn Sci-Fi Film Festival, or you go to Shockfest, and you can watch both of those, plus hundreds of others. Chris, you get to see hundreds of others.
So just since we have a couple minutes, here you go.
My name is Colonel Jonathan White. I've faced a darkness most can't imagine. An occult society whose tendrils reach into education, law enforcement, even the government. Their influence is everywhere, waiting to resurface. I've been watching, waiting, sleeping lightly. People think they know this place. They walk by, oblivious to the whispers, the schemes hiding in plain sight. But I know. I've seen the darkness that slips through the cracks, crawling its way to the surface.
There you go.
Wow, that's cool.
Got two now.
That's way cool, man. That's the trailer for the Tower Protocol. Also award-winning. And want to thank all the festivals. The two platforms are Film Freeway and the WFCN. Thank you both for giving us the opportunity to have these films, sent out to the various film festivals around the world. So thank you all, you guys. If you follow the social media, you'll know. You'll all the details are out there. So thank you, guys. I also want to thank the Tipsy Toaster for my birthday, my belated birthday gifts. So here they are. There's format your screenplay like a pro and your next screenplay contest. So there you go. Thank you very much, Tipsy. Appreciate that very much.
We'll put those to good use, hopefully.
Oh, we sure will. And I just wanted to, again, thank everybody for tuning in. Lola and everybody else. You guys all rock. I wanted to, I don't know if I actually had shown you guys this before. I don't think so. I picked this up years ago. It's the Colonial Warriors United. It's a Battlestar Galactica fan club that was created back in the early 90s. And here is what came with the folder itself. There was like the packet that you would, get when you joined. And this came with it. I thought this was very, very cool. Right? Picture. Right? This is on the cover of one of those YA magazines, if you guys remember. It also came with this. So you get some stationery with Starbuck and some stationery from the actual club itself. So these obviously never been used, and in my Galactica box for decades now. And I'm going to go through, I'm going to just quickly show you guys. I believe there is, here, this is really, really cool. Check this out. Cylon Interstellar Authority wants you.
That must be another group.
It's so Cylon Interstellar Authority, care of Michael Stroud, 120 Hendricks Street.
Yep, so that was another Battlestar Galactica fan.
Michigan. So, you familiar with that?
No, that's the first I heard of it.
Yeah, and there's a Colonial Warrior United role-playing division department heads. So it's like a whole breakdown of who's in the club, and a communication update sheet back in the day when you had to mail things out. Many of us still remember that. And I don't know. Let me see. Let me just jump to one of the other more pertinent ones, I think, back here. Yeah, here you go. Look at this. Join the Colonial Warrior fan club. How about that? We need you. That's pretty cool. Let's see. You get a membership kit, colorful folder to hold your club's letterhead, membership card, a color photo, role-playing division, paraphernalia, and this is out of Boston. This is something else. This is another one. So this was an ad for yet another Battlestar Galactica club. I'm wondering how many of you out there actually were members of either of these.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We want to know. We want to know if any of you actually had joined them. I had joined one that was local here in New York City. There was one that I joined, and I've shared that with you guys before. So that was in my Galactica box, and now it goes back in there. But I want to share that with all of you. I thought you'd get a real kick out of that.
Paul reminded me that yesterday was the anniversary of the airing of The Lost Warrior.
Oh, so The Lost Warrior, guys, for the record, is the episode that I alluded to, right? So we, right? That's
what Stranded Warrior came from.
Yeah, that's it. So there you go. And let me see. I think there's Phil, thanks. It was fun. Here's a link to our Space 1999 episode. Those who might be interested.
Ooh,
excellent.
Cool.
Thank you for that, Phil. Appreciate it. It was great having you on. And Baz, off to see Tron Ares next Wednesday.
Oh yeah,
can't wait. See that. Baz, you got to tell us what you think, right? So you come on next week. You got to give us a heads up on what you thought of it. I have not had a chance to see it. I definitely want to as well. I know Tipsy, you might be going as well.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna try. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love going to the movies. I haven't been to the movies in a while. I go to the movies a lot now because I can. Code 3, I went to the movie and there was nobody else there, which was like, why? This is such a great movie.
Oh, that's too bad, man. Hopefully it'll do really well in
streaming.
The streaming. Yeah, it'll do well in the streaming. So we just to give you a heads up, the Long Island Film Festival in a couple of weeks will be screening the trailer for the Terror Protocol. So the one that you guys saw will be it's in competition. It's down to the final 3. And hopefully we'll see. Hopefully we'll get something. So we're going to be at that. That's on a Saturday. And then following that, I will be going out to Chiller Theater Expo in New Jersey. So that's that Saturday. As a matter of fact, let me give you guys a date just in case any of you are available. I believe that I intend to meet up with Professor Patton, but that weekend is let's see, the 24th, 25th, and 26th of October. So on Saturday, Long Island Film Festival at 10 a.m. We will be on the big screen. The trailer you saw will be on the big screen. I will be there to represent. There's going to be a Q&A, and I'll give you guys, I'll let you know. I'll post up some pictures and let you know how that went. We're very proud of all of the films that we've made, and it's all because you guys are there for us, and we appreciate you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's that time again, isn't it? It's about 10 o'clock, so we're gonna sign off. I know. Some of us got a bedtime to hit, and hey, some of us got to go to work tomorrow. Unfortunately, that would be me. But hey, it's been great hanging out with you. Don't forget to stop by again next Thursday, same bat channel, same bat place. We will love to have you and talk to you then. I don't know who's coming on next week. It didn't look. That was my fault. But we had a great time tonight. We had some great guests. I love the back and forth with y'all in the comments. It's so great to have such a family. I'm going to get that right. I'm going to put an R on that. So a family of fans. But it's so great to have you guys here and gals. And I've got to say, her name was Lola. She was a showgirl. I always got to do that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Love you, Lola.
Thank you, everybody.
So, everybody, thank you much. We will be back in broadcasting range next week, 8 o'clock Thursday. Pete should be here this time. You're not going to be here a week after that, I think. So.
Yeah, there's time. Rick, Rick is gonna step in for me.
Cool.
We'll set that up. So yeah, I'll give you a heads up, Rick. I'll give you dates. The actual date is it's so far it's just the one Thursday in November, and that's predicated on the festival. So we'll see how that plays. But right now, all roads are they head towards that festival. So I'll be sending you out a heads up. But thanks,
check
guys.
out one more thing. Don't forget to check out the new posts. Tipsy's Tipsy Toasters Tunes. I think I forgot. I can't remember what I called it now.
Yes,
so check
that's right.
that out. Have a good time.
Yep.
Let's strap on the imagination. Close your eyes and listen to the music, and I think you'll enjoy some of the things that we're going to put out there in that. So, anyway, stay shiny, you Cylon people. Keep the joints lubricated, and we will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us, fans for the fleet. I only got a little bit left.
Fans for the fleet, guys.
I left that much for
Stay safe.
Good night.